Shepherding Sam. Chapter 7, Part 1. The next morning, Saucer woke early. The air felt warm and still. He could hear the silence around him, where yesterday the air rang with children's voices. It was the hot, dry season when Sister Catherine left extra water dishes in the animal pens. The grass browned and crinkled up under the sun. Saucer marched around the pens for a few minutes. He lapped his water and flopped onto the dirt, resting his nose on his front paws. He imagined hundreds of sheep scattering over a rocky hillside. In his mind's eye, he chased them down and brought them together. The sheep marched in rows. They bleated in harmony, singing a happy sheep song. Saucer sighed contentedly. Saucer's dream vanished. Something was wrong. Saucer's nose told him first. He smelled something unfamiliar. He gathered his short legs under him and stood up. He lifted his head, ears twitching. Bethlehem saw Saucer. His long gray ears flicked around, first one way, then the other. He brayed. Dickens the duck made a motion, and Shakespeare started rounding up the other ducks without waiting for Charlotte and Emily to second it. The goats bunched together. The two bunnies, Mary and Martha, hopped in circles. Arrow and Butterscotch abandoned their corners and came to the fence a few feet away from Saucer. Saucer smelled smoke. He raced to the end of the row of pens, and there he saw it. Flames flickered in the undergrowth at the edge of the woods behind the farm. The fire was still small, but the grass and scrub were dry. The fire would not be small for long. "Arf! Arf! Arf!" Saucer barked urgently. Sister Catherine was at morning prayers with the other nuns in the church on the hill to the west. The fire wasn't large enough yet to roar and snap. The smoke hung close in the still air. The nuns might not notice the fire until it burned out of control. Saucer barked again, but now he wasn't frightened. Saucer knew what to do. "Arf! Arf! Arf! Arf!" Saucer galloped up and down between the pens, barking and waving his nose, wide-eyed and fierce. The animals stopped milling around. They were frightened, but they could see that Saucer was not. "Listen," said Saucer's bark. The animals listened. "I can help. Watch me and follow." The animals stood still and watched. When he had everyone's attention, Saucer marched to the first pen. Arrow and Butterscotch were there, and Saucer knew Arrow could help him. Saucer bounced up against the gate to Arrow's pen, stretching his nose to reach the latch and pop it up. Arrow started to scramble over the top of the fence, then hopped down again, unwilling to leave Butterscotch. Saucer tried twice to reach the latch. It took his biggest bounce to get his pointed nose high enough. The third time, his nose banged against the latch. "Ouch! Arf!" and knocked it over. Arrow jumped against the gate from the inside. He dashed out with Butterscotch waddling behind him. Together, Saucer and Arrow pushed open the squeaky gate and raced out of the animal farm. Butterscotch waddled behind, squawking directions to them, trying to keep up. Past the apple orchard they went, past the gardens, to the place where the path wound up a gentle hill to the church door. Saucer streaked up the path and jumped against the door, barking as loudly as he could. Arrow ran in circles on the path behind him, and their barks alternated like a sound and its echo. "Arf! Woof! Arf! Woof!